We're breaking down everything from this latest episode of House of the Dragon, Season 3, Episode 2. We're going to give you our review of the episode and go over all the details you may have missed. All that and more on an all-new episode of Unbinged, starting now. Welcome to Unbinged podcast for the shows, movies, and news you love to binge. I'm Alfredo Brown, joined as always by Jagger and Matt Kopfhamer. We're going to talk everything from this latest episode of House of the Dragon, but first, the spoiler warning.
This is your one and only spoiler warning for House of the Dragon, all 3 seasons, plus Game of Thrones, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Song of Ice and Fire, all the things.
Rhaenyra exercising her squatter's rights, Otto Hightower looking chopped. But we're starting off with bangers this episode. Jag, give me your instant reactions to this episode of House of the Dragon.
I am just hyped, man. After this episode following up to episode 1, I have basically forgiven everyone for everything. And granted,
that's a lot for you. Like no offense to you, like I rarely hear you say I'm hyped when we're watching a show.
It gave me what I wanted. Finally, we've gotten really good battles, and it's not just explosions and fire. That opening scene was so beautiful from the shot underneath the water where you see everything happening from Jace. Then you just see the carnage and destruction. You're not seeing battle. You're seeing, and now it sounds fucked up that I'm hyped. You're seeing genocide, actually, kind of, for what these dragons are doing. And then going from that to Emma Darcy's performance, that first 15-minute stretch was absolute cinema. And I don't even mean to use that as a mean. It was like Emma Darcy's acting, you saw that theater background. It was just beautiful stuff.
Oh, it absolutely broke my heart when they started talking to Jace. Like Jace was just sleeping, and it just I'm not a father. I don't have children, but I could put myself in their shoes, seeing their second dead child now, because of this conflict, because of this unnecessary conflict, and for them to break so hard, it was just absolutely gut wrenching and heartbreaking. And then for on the same exact day that they find out that their eldest son is dead, they have to go be a conqueror of King's Landing, or Queen's Landing, as they put the title of the episode. I don't know if I'd be strong enough. I would have been like, you know what? It's not worth it anymore.
That's why no one will never remember your name.
Fair. That's fair. I'll go down.
You'll never sit on the special chair. I will say what this episode does is, I think it delved deepest into Rhaenyra's soul, like more than we ever have in this series. And there's been some tough episodes that have asked some tough questions and put some big moments in front of us. To go from seeing the life of your child ended to having it to end a life by the end of this, to then looking into the eyes of another life you have now affected. The moment was entirely too big for Rhaenyra, and it did not matter because she had to go through with it. She had to take those reluctant steps towards the throne. And I don't know if you guys caught this or felt the same way. When she sat, I almost got the vibe that she immediately went, oh, fuck, none of this was worth it. This is just a chair.
She was doing the calculus in her head of what it cost to get to that point, and it's absolutely not worth it. The cost that she had to pay.
What did you think, Jag, when she makes her way up those steps? Because she does it very reluctantly. She tracks through Otto Hightower's blood after a very traumatic moment. She sits down. What do you think is running through her mind at that point?
I definitely think it's a transition, and it's not the same because they're obviously not the same kind of person. We've all seen There Will Be Blood here, right? Mm-hmm. It felt like the end of There Will Be Blood, where she gets up there and just says, I'm finished. We know she's not finished, but it's after all that conflict, everything that's happened, she finally gets what she wants, and you feel the weight of it. Not like that. It's not even, to me, it's not weighing or not that if it was worth it in the end, but now you're on a chair that both literally and figuratively killed your father, and now you're thinking, what's next? And then I got you to think of another movie. It's the Graduate moment. You know, after you just leave on the wedding, and then you're gonna go on a bus with a guy. What's next? You know, if you guys haven't seen that, it's on The Office too. They do the whole thing with Pam when they leave Dunder Mifflin to make Michael Scott Paper Company. So FYI.
I think you said it perfectly there. It's not necessarily that when she gets to the throne that she regrets things. It's that she finally feels the weight and the full burden of it, which you can't understand. It's almost like someone talking about being a parent but not understanding the full burden of it. Now it's she's always thought and imagined the throne, and then she gets to that moment, and I can imagine with the way this all went down, it hits her like a ton of bricks. And it's going to be how she reacts going forward is who she is as a queen, who she is as a person.
And we see it. Emma Darcy's performance is captivating because as she is reluctantly going up to the throne, we see them like pause and like hunch over with the weight of everything that's happened to get her to this point. And absolute masterclass. And it's gonna be weird when I say this, but their performance was so good in the beginning and the end of the episode that the rest of the episode felt a little flatter for it, because they weren't on screen and that captivating performance wasn't there. So it felt like we went from the highest of highs to a lesser than performance from everyone else. And then we get the high ending. And so for me, the episode felt very up and down just because of how gravitating that performance by Emma was.
I when you first said that you had like qualms, I guess, with the middle of this episode, I was concerned. I'm like, Kopf, how are you? If I'm hyped, how are you not hyped? Is what I thought. But hearing your perspective that it was 15 out of 10, and then when you come from 15 coming down to 10, that is a high drop. I can agree with you on that. But at the same time, those things were necessary because this was just great performances all throughout, because I loved every moment with Daemon, and I loved the parallels between Daemon and Aemon. Yeah. Daemon showed up, and if you're on, it used to be them Thrones, now it's Dragons, y'all. This very like black threads, black Twitter, you know, on here. Like, Daemon is not a hero, but he's a nigga who gets shit done. Like, you say what you want about him, if he puts his mind to it, it's getting done.
And he's a whole vibe too. When he walks in and he's like, you know what? I will sit and have dinner with you. Mm-hmm. And he sits with, and then Aemon's the exact opposite. He's like, get up, pull out your sword. And he's like, I don't want to fight, man. You see how old I am?
He's like, I'm 60, bro.
He's like, I'm way too tired for that shit.
Look at this bum-ass castle. Like, bro, it's wet in here right now.
It's like, I'm not fighting for this.
Yeah.
It's wet.
We have mold everywhere.
Daemon killed like 30. He killed 30 dudes, and then Aemon like killed 2 sped kids and an accountant. You know?
And still got stabbed.
Which is amazing. I love that scene because it shows, like you're saying, it shows the juxtaposition of experience versus wanting to be the guy when you're not ready yet. And so Daemon, yeah, he cut through that castle guard like it was nothing, because it wasn't anything. But when he gets to the final scene with the Strongs, he is willing to put aside the violence for diplomacy and realize, like, hey, maybe I can get these guys on my side and it'll actually benefit me in the end. Whereas Aemon's so young and so eager for recognition and to be that guy that he only sees one solution, because every problem is a nail and he is the hammer. Mm-hmm. And so it blinds him to the fact that if you're not paying attention, you're gonna get stabbed in the kidney.
And to take it back to season 2, how he handled the Blackwoods and the Brackens, he was just like, these niggas would rather burn than give up. I think I fuck with them. You know?
I can use that.
Guys, I want to talk more about this because this was the highest rated episode of House of the Dragon on IMDb. And I have a question about that. But before we move on, I want to remind everybody you have a bunch of ways you can enjoy this show. And the first is here on YouTube. So if you're watching, take a sec to like this video, comment down below with your thoughts. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, those 5-star reviews change everything for us. So please keep hitting those 5-star reviews. It helps us so much to grow as a podcast. And we are going to do our part to give you guys as much good content as we can, because every Monday we're going to be here for House of the Dragon Season 3. Tuesday we have our premium episodes, but this week We're going to give you our Supergirl review totally free. We're going to discuss Supergirl, DC, everything of where that's going. Wednesday, X-Men 97 Season 2. And then Thursday nights, right after the episode drops on Apple TV, we are going to be covering Silo for you guys. Okay, so we're going to be recording those in advance, and it'll be ready for you guys as soon as Silo finishes. You can hop on and listen or watch the show on Unbinged here. Guys, my question about this, because 9.4, I believe, was the rating on IMDb. Highest rated episode of House of the Dragon that we've had so far. Did we reach our peak too soon?
No.
Did we, so to kind of go off of what Kopf was talking about, where it's like, well, the beginning was so strong and the middle kind of, in your opinion, meandered, and then you get to like the end. How do you follow up something like this? I think they can. And I think by consolidating the storylines and where the characters are, I think it's going to make the show that much more dynamic. Having Alicent and Rhaenyra in the same place, having Daemon in the same place, having all these characters together, I think makes the show more dynamic. But now I wonder did we kind of reach that peak and now everything's sort of downhill until the show finishes out? I know that's a very hyperbolic, loaded question to ask, but I want to ask it anyways.
It doesn't have to be the peak. It's a high point, and if they continue on the emotional trends that they're putting forth, it can stay this high. My worry is if they start to meander away from some of those strong emotional points and focus a little bit too much on the battle scenes or things like that while cool and look visually stunning may not serve the story as well as some of these more intimate moments that we see. Like the moment when Daemon is speaking High Valyrian to Rhaenyra while she is grieving, that was incredible. And that has nothing to do with a battle or a dragon on screen or any of the cool things that fans want to see. But having that intimate moment was so strong. And that's where this show can really shine. And I hope they focus on that moving forward to allow those moments to really shine through.
And a lot of it for me is, one, the war isn't over. So some of the things that are the easy things that we like Kopf, you're saying, the battles, there's going to be more of that. There's going to be more fighting. Where I think a lot of shows get lost in the sauce. And if anything, I think together we're making one point, bringing together Alfredo's and then yours, Kopf, is I don't want them to waste time on some of these tertiary characters to try to provide the depth like you said we get with some of these characters. Like, I don't need to deal with Ulf's problems right now from his childhood in Flea Bottom. Please don't stop the plot line to give me more Ulf. If it makes sense and it drives the plot forward, fine. But a lot of times, like these shows that are really good but have flaws, like Paradise, I think that sometimes they get lost in their own emotional sauce.
I think what I like most about what they're doing here, like I mentioned, is that we're going to have all these characters together. And originally I was asking or thinking, what is the thread that I want to pull at the most from this show? Like, what is the most intriguing storyline going on here? And I think it's always going to come down to which characters are the most magnetic when they're on screen. And I'm curious for you guys. Rhaenyra and Daemon are the most magnetic for you on screen together?
For me. Yep.
Aemon
even
for me,
separate, even apart.
Yeah. Say what you want about Aemon. Even how he handled that problem like a bitch, that's good TV.
I couldn't stop watching.
Yeah. Everything he does, actually, he's the best green. Like, it's not even close. And he's one, I don't really like him, but I like watching him. It's like wrestling. He's the ideal heel. Like episode 1, how he handles like Orwell, where he's just like literally about to kill him. And he's like, hey, Laris, this guy. He's like, yeah, sorry, dude. He kind of walks off.
I love... Yes, I love everything about Aemond. I loved his helmet where it covers his one eye. When he pulls it off, you get the sapphire.
You got that Deathstroke,
cool little detail.
Deathstroke vibes going there.
A little bit.
It's kind of gangster.
He is a menace. That is for sure. He is the most compelling green for sure.
Not Alicent.
No.
We're kind of. Does she feel?
She's officially a plot device, and I don't mean that as a bad way.
That's the thing, is like I was trying to figure out, like, how do I say this, because it's also how the character has been written, where it is very one note, where she's almost become, Jack, like you said, a plot device, almost like an object at this point.
And
where
that's both it's a sad point, and I think
It's-
that's
yeah.
multi-level. Like she's an object in the universe. She's an object, and a lot of people were upset about that sexual assault scene. They thought it was unnecessary. You know, I'm not a woman, so I can't really speak on that. You thought it was unnecessary? To me,
Yeah.
you needed it to put to the point. You needed this is us seeing Alicent actually put in her place, from how Aemon treated her to where she is now. The women on the green side have only been chess pieces, and Alicent has known that, and this was the final nail that says I have no more purpose in this war other than being a chess piece. You know,
I think you nailed that. I think seeing that dichotomy, that contrast between what's going on in Alicent's life versus how Rhaenyra is being propped up by the people around her in her house, which she wasn't an episode ago. And then now you sort of see Daemon's like, all right, here's the sword. Take it. Get the chopping.
That's because the problem died. So, you know, bye, Jace. I'm fucking with you guys. It's interesting to see, right? I mean, he's the one that was like, "Hey, you gotta lock my mommy up." And then
that's cold blooded
shit
for you
happens.
me, partner.
Koff's like, I don't do gentle parenting.
It's interesting, like you said, that she is Alicent. The character has been a political pawn her entire life.
Yeah.
Her father used her as a pawn to get closer to power with Viserys. And even when she's trying to take power herself and break free of being a pawn, it almost always backfires on her. And my issue with the Lord Jasper sexual assault or attempted sexual assault scene is it felt the actions in that scene felt very unnecessary to what they wanted to do with the story. You could have had it. You could have had him come in and be a sleazeball and be like, "I know about you and Sir Cole, and I know you're a traitor, but hey, pro, I won't say anything if you give me what I want." But instead, he goes full violence against women, and it just felt very out of place, in my opinion. And I felt like they could have done a better job of getting those points across without throwing in a random sexual assault scene. It felt indicative of a problem that goes back all the way to the original Game of Thrones show, where sometimes they just threw a sexual assault scene in for kind of no reason.
But I don't think it was for no reason. Like, I think we got a very distinct reason. Jag, you're muted, but I think we got a very distinct reason. It's that Alicent is like in every single aspect. It's not just with Aemond and within her own family. It's everywhere in that castle where she's really not in charge. And while I think there's maybe other ways they could have demonstrated this, I think because of the characterization of Alicent and who she's been since a teenager, which is just literally, you're here to make babies and be people's, like, be the king's, arm candy.
Consort.
It kind of matches with the character. I'm obviously not advocating for, like, let's have more sexual assault in TV shows, but I don't think that this was totally out of place. I think it actually kind of worked.
I disagree. I think there were better ways to show that without having it be a violence against women moment. It just felt like that's the easiest
But I mean, it's
way
not promoting
to portray
violence
it.
against women. It's showing that these guys are all really shitty, and I think that's what it's meant to show you: is that power is corrupting literally fucking everyone.
So my problem.
Okay,
Sorry,
go ahead.
my problem is we already got that last episode with the Sir Kristen Cole ignoring a sexual assault thing, and so we don't need to have a second scene of that this episode. And I get it; it's Alicent being the one affected by it, but I felt like there were better ways to show that without it being a violence against women moment.
How else do you do it? Sorry, go, Jack. Go.
Actually, I want Kopf to say this first, and then I'm going to go because he may answer my question before I give it to him.
So someone like Lord Jasper, right? Lord of Laws or whatnot. To me, that character has always been a slime ball because he helped put Aegon on the throne. But I don't know. It never felt like he was the type or the character to be like, I'm going to be a brute and get what I want with physical violence.
This motherfucker who was talking shit and easily telling
Talking shit.
Brother,
Yeah, talking shit.
That he would be the number one suspect I would expect to do that. Like, I can give it to you that, you don't want to see that. But to say that you don't think Lord Jasper, the fucking master of fuck shit, wouldn't do that, like he is about the business. Like,
I
So
think he
maybe
would've-
there's a
I
maybe
think
there's
he-
a difference between what we're saying, because it kind of, Jag, you said it right there, is there's a difference between we don't want to see it versus does it work. And I think it works in this context. I don't think any of us want to see that. I don't think we're like jonesing. No one here is like, you know what would really spice this scene up is a good sexual assault. Like what we're saying is that it does work in this context.
women, we have a lot of you that, and you guys are our best commenters.
Let us know.
Please weigh in on this, and we will read it. Like, we are three.
We could be
dudes right
be
now.
way the fuck off. This could be a great learning moment for every single one of us.
100%. We are not saying this is what it is. We are literally three dudes just trying to figure it out. So anyone who wants to weigh in, we will greatly encourage that.
Please.
But here's where I'm at, Koff, and I'm going to talk. I can't speak for sexual assault because I've never been on either side of that, and I'm not a woman. So I'm going to speak for where I do know, which is like I'm a black dude, and I'm going to take it back to something like One Battle After Another, where people were upset at Sean Penn winning because he played a racist character. I think we have to be very careful of where we are in media to where we understand where something is disingenuous and where something is just honest writing. This is set in medieval times where women are used quite literally as objects, and Lord Jasper is a bad person. So he responded and acted as a bad person would do within the confines of that time. Now, if this was like Succession and all of a sudden fucking one of the disgusting brothers committed a sexual assault, that would have been out of left field, you know, because I don't think Cousin Greg would have done that. And that to me would have been forcing something into writing just to be spicy. So like for me with race, I'm not upset at Sean Penn. I'm not upset to see characters be bad people. And on the flip side, I can watch a black person be a bad person without me thinking that the writer's making black people look bad. And I'm sorry for that little tangent.
No, it's perfect.
No, that's an absolutely fair point. I just felt like they could have better served that scene without the violence against Alicent. They could have gotten the point across without it being a literal rape attempt. That's all I'm saying. It felt like that was the easiest way to write that scene, and it pulled me out of the episode.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll try to give the scene the benefit of the doubt, is that they're probably trying to drive the point home, because I know many people can look at the scene from last week with Aemon and him kissing her, but then maybe saying like, oh, that's just, you know, that old Targaryen incest thing. And I think maybe this is really driving that point home of like Alicent. And it's such a weird topic to even try to discuss. Like, it makes me feel icky just even saying it, where it's like Alicent not only doesn't have power in the castle, or power like of what is going on within her family, it almost is supposed to feel like she doesn't have power over herself. Like she is helpless. She doesn't even have that autonomy of her own body at that point. And I think that's what it's supposed to make her feel and look helpless in a way that when we get to this final scene and her father, who she didn't know this whole time was imprisoned underneath them, is dead. I think it's meant to elevate these feelings of almost confusion too, where she's, how do you feel about a man that essentially made you a child bride? Do you feel full like, is she completely sad about it? I think that's what that final stare down between Alicent and Rhaenyra is that neither of them fully know how they feel. They just feel the weight of what is happening around them.
What's interesting with that is Alicent has basically promised Rhaenyra, like, hey, you can kill my 2 sons and take the throne as long as I get to leave with Helena. And I don't think it was conceptualized for her what that price really meant until she saw her father dead in front of her. And that's when the reality of her actions finally came home to roost. And so that, like you said, that stare down between her and Rhaenyra was very evocative of like, I fucked up. Both of them, both sides are like, I fucked up. I paid a price I don't know if I was really willing to pay.
And to be fair, it's not even that either of them fucked up. Laris, to quote Aemon, that toad, pulled like the one trade chip that would have fixed all this and probably ended everything that day. He incidentally, I think that's what's worse. At least Peter Baelish did shit on purpose. Yeah. You know, Laris is just trying to survive and being a little fuck shit. and made a problem worse. But I do think Otto also should have died because he realized his mistake way too late. Like, honestly, fuck Otto. Like, he
was the
deserved that
architect
extra hat.
of the entire conflict. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Hell, beheading was too easy for him.
Dog,
Yeah.
right on the spine. Rough.
Even
Ouch.
can we talk about the Damon moment? Because I could get why women love a toxic motherfucker like Damon, because homie, he's like, well, Dave, make Damon do it because at least I won't get hacked to death. David looked at him, handed Rhaenyra the sword.
Nah.
That is both being a supportive husband and fuck you.
A fuck ass.
Because he knew Rhaenyra was going to fuck that first swing up. He's like, I'll give her the Valerian steel sword, but yeah, she's going to fuck
She
this
had
one.
her eyes closed, man.
Yeah, dude. It's
It
so
reminds me
good.
of Friday Night Lights when the coach asked Matt, seriously, he's like, did you have your eyes closed? He's like, no. But we know he did.
It's like Damon is the easiest to like, but the hardest to defend. It's like, I have to not think that you groomed your wife as a child because you are so cool.
I forgot about that part. Oh, that's right. Oh, your niece, too. Oh, so gross.
I think that's kind of what makes this show so interesting is that it's going to consistently live in the gray area for every single character. And
No
like
one's redeemable.
I used to ask myself this is like, who do I root for? Because that's how they marketed season 2 was, oh, are you team black or team green? And I was like, I'm team fuck both of them. Like, really? I'm not into any of these characters. And I think that made it harder for me to enjoy it. And now that I'm just fully into, okay, we're in the gray area. This is Succession with dragons. This is Euphoria with dragons. This is everyone is a piece of shit and I hope they all die, but with dragons. Okay.
Messy rich people with problems and dragons.
This is it's Love Island, but everyone's related and there's a dragon.
Speaking of gray areas, one of my favorite parts of Damon's moments in these episodes is how he treats the small folk that have helped him up to this point. Alice Rivers, Ulf, Hugh Hammer, even Masseria. Like, he has so much disdain for these lowborn people that even when they are willing to help his cause, he still can't help but be like, fuck you, lowborn. And I read the book, so I know how it ends, but those moments build up and they cause issues down the road because he is so unwilling to look past my noble birth, my Targaryen blood. I'm a dragon rider. He's got such a high opinion that everyone underneath him eventually is going to be like, hey, you know what? Fuck you too.
You know, when I'm looking at these characters, I want to know, like, who is it? Are you rooting for anyone? I know I just said, like, I'm not. Are you guys like, damn, when this character's on screen, I'm kind of hoping something good happens to them? Because we've seen twists now where we're like, oh, that's not in the books. Or, like, this is not what I expected for this character. Is there something, for example, like an Aegon, where you're like, man, everything has just turned up bad for him? So there's not a single character that where you're
I
just
have
like
two characters.
Okay.
Two characters that I root for when I see them on screen, and they're brothers, Alan and Adam Holt.
fuck yeah, those are my
Those
guys.
two are the real guys that you should be rooting for because they came from nothing, overcame their bastard blood, whatever you want to call it, origins, and have found themselves in a position where they A, have a dragon, and B, now have been named the heir of Driftmark, which, yes.
Yeah, and that's really the Valerian bloodline in general, and like technically, well, Rhaena,
Not Rhaena.
she having a tough go, man.
Bruh.
She having a real
Bro,
tough
how you
go.
gonna go to that like the Lady of the Veil and be like, help, hide me, please? What? No, get out of here.
I think she would have been better off if she would have went to people who understand dragons and said, like, hey, this motherfucker went ape shit. This, like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to do this. And they might have never let you out of the house again, but you probably would have lived.
Right. She should have immediately gone to Dragonstone, said what happened, be like, I claimed the wild dragon nobody thought I could do, and then it turned out not a great idea. Yeah, you're probably gonna get, Rhaenyra's gonna lose her shit on you, But at least if you can go in with that energy of like, hey, I tried to do the right thing and I fucked up, please help. Maybe you can have an easier time transitioning from that versus trying to run the fuck away, going to some random lady that doesn't like you anyway, and hoping that she'll keep you hidden from your mother-in-law. I think that's the relationship. Cousin, mother, aunt-in-law,
Cousin wife. Yeah.
Who knows?
No, I saw something online that was funny as fuck where they're just like, nah, not them turning Rhaena into Felicia Targaryen.
Oh, that's too good, man. That's too good.
Like, dude, girl looks all battered and just fucked up by the time she gets there, and they're just like, bye, Felicia. We don't need you here.
We're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
it's okay.
Colin Cowherd.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out, please.
You and Captain Underbite need to get the fuck out my halls.
I do. My favorite part of that scene was she's like, "Hey, you wanted a dragon, right? I can help protect you." What? You literally have no control over that thing.
We just watched it kill everyone.
Yeah. If I need homie to puke up a sheep and burn all my ships down, I'll holler at you.
Yeah.
God, insane work by Rhaenyra to be like, yeah, I'm totally cool. We're cool.
That's totally the one friend that's like, yeah, can I bring my kid along? And you know that kid behaves bad. And you're like, no, there's no kid. There's no kids at this event. Fuck that kid. Mm. Guys, we got two other storylines here that I think are interesting outside of like our main, Alicent, Rhaenyra, all that. We've got Aegon and Larys, and then we've got Aemon and Alice Rivers, or which? Which one more intriguing to you?
I don't care about the
Aemon
witch.
and Alice.
You don't care about the witch? Why not?
Interesting.
You want to talk about feeling forced? Yeah, like to me, she'd roll up on me, and I'm gonna hit her with the cat spray. Just pss, pss, take your voodoo, get the fuck out of here, sweetheart. I don't need that shit. You ain't gonna haunt me.
She's just always hanging around Harrenhal.
She's
what,
the ghost
what is
of
her
Harrenhal.
purpose besides to say spooky shit? I'm like, okay, thanks. Like I feel like the
That's
Greens
ominous.
I feel like the Greens have Helena, and then the Blacks just got like Alice Rivers over here. It's like, all right, man, I thank you for my spooky fortune cookie. See you tomorrow.
That's the pairing I want to see. I want to see Alice and Helena, just True Detective style.
Friends.
What would that podcast be called?
Bugs and curses.
Shit.
Yeah.
They would be fascinating to see together. But I really like Alice Rivers as a character because she's a very complex character with very simple goals. She just wants to be left the fuck alone in Harrenhal.
Really? Because she keeps showing
up.
up.
Well, yeah, because she's trying to manipulate events to go her way. So when Daemon showed up, she's like, okay, if I fuck with this crazy guy, maybe I can get what I want, which is, she said it out loud, give me Harrenhal. Tell Rhaenyra, give me Harrenhal. Because she cares about the small folk and the other lowborns, because she is one of them. So she wants just to be left alone, so that way the problems of the nobility and the highborn don't keep killing her kin. So she tried it with Daemon, and Daemon basically said, fuck off, you're a lowborn witch, I don't give a shit. And then fucked off to Dragonstone and then King's Landing. And then who comes to Harrenhal? It's Daemon reborn in Aemon. So now she's like, okay, switching tactics. If I save this stupid asshole's life, maybe he'll give me what I want.
I think the thing that would probably keep me most excited about that storyline is Aemon as a character who is just magnetic on there. I don't think he's quite to the levels of Joffrey and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on Sausage Boy.
Ramsay Bolton.
Ramsay Bolton.
Thank you.
Okay,
yeah.
I was supposed to say
he's
Sausage Boy.
He's not quite at the level of Ramsay and Joffrey, but he's magnetic when he's on screen. And I'm intrigued as to what he's doing. So we throw in a little bit of witchcraft. Like, okay, I think where I get nervous is like, don't do the Daemon thing, where now he's going to be sidelined the whole fucking season, and you take one of your most magnetic characters and be like, hey, we're going to put you in Luigi's mansion for the next 6 episodes. Good luck. Like it just kind of fucking sucks for us.
Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, that's you nailed it. That's what I feel with like she's really cool. I need her to be
Do something more interesting. Like don't keep doing the same party trick over and over.
exactly like especially after we got someone like the Red Woman. I've seen some ghostly
Melisandre?
bitches who could do some stuff, man. Like you're cool, man. But I've seen the 4.0 of you, and it's way better.
So okay, so that makes me go to this question then. Koff, do you have any interest in what's going on with Larys and Aegon?
No, absolutely not. That
See,
I
I
don't
find
care about
Larys
that
to be
pairing.
I find Larys to be so interesting.
He is.
The problem is
but
I know their ending. I know what happens to them, so I'm not really interested in seeing that little journey.
Okay, well that's
Oh, well,
not
that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it too.
Sorry, I read books. My bad.
By the way, all the characters from this die.
Eventually,
By
Nobody
the time
gets
Game of
the
Thrones
Iron
comes
Throne.
out,
Spoilers.
everybody's dead.
Bran takes the Iron Throne. Remember that, guys.
Yeah.
All
None
this for
fucking matters.
Bran.
Yeah.
I d-
Jamie
going
should have
back
pushed
to-
him just a little bit harder out of that
a little
window.
bit harder.
Just a tad bit.
Going back to what Damon with Rhaenyra speaking High Valyrian while she's grieving, he mentions the Song of Ice and Fire. He mentions his vision about Daenerys. All roads lead to Daenerys.
Can I talk to you about our Lord and Savior Daenerys Targaryen?
I love it. Let's do it. And then Bran ends up king. Yay!
All roads lead to Bran. Guys, anything else from this episode here? It was a good episode of TV, but I feel like where we're really going to see a lot of these stories fleshed out with all these other characters is going to be down the road. Like everything here was about let's just get Rhaenyra onto the throne and see what kind of turmoil we're going to have within that throne room here on out.
Yeah, I'm curious how the rest of the season was going to go, because have you seen where these last two episodes were supposed to be the finale of season 2?
You can
Real
tell.
feels like it. It really feels like it. So I wonder if we're going to get a pretty, I guess, a slowdown or something, because you're going to have to kind of start over and come back from a big battle, which I'm okay with, because they really paid off from what we waited 2 years after a disappointing finale. But I wonder if people are going to be okay with that momentum, because the internet is really stupid. That momentum shift, because the internet's really stupid.
Short answer: they're not going to be happy if it goes from this high of high, and then next episode's kind of mid, if you want to call it that. The internet's going to blow up.
We can open up another treaty with the Starks,
It was cool seeing the Rivermen and the Northmen all partying after the battle. So what was that song? Yeah.
Oh, we didn't do our homework. Should have had the song.
I know. Anyway, but so is there 8 episodes or 10 episodes this season? Do we know?
8.
Oh, damn it. That's So we get okay. I'm not excited. I'm not hopeful that they're going to be able to pull off what I think needs to happen in 6 episodes. But
I will say what I was just looking up was how they filmed these, and I wanted to see, like, did they film these 2 episodes at the same time as season 2 and then have to start over with something else new for these remaining episodes of season 3? Because like we've been saying, it feels like this was the finale of season 2. It turns out they did not. Like, they just filmed season 3 altogether, these episodes, in one continuous 6-month shoot. So hopefully there's a little bit of continuity that we see here, but I'm trying not to be pessimistic about it, because it does feel like when you hit that sort of apex, like the only way to go is sort of down. So it's like, what's the twist that can make you, or I guess not twist, but like, what's the thing that happens here with a character that can really drive and keep this show at that high level and maintain it?
Big moments. And that's I say big moments because that is more than just battles.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones did a good job at ending with a big moment, whether that is just Tyrion killing his father or something like the Battle of the Bastards. They're like, big moments are huge. Or Daenerys claiming
Daenerys sailing to Westeros.
Yeah, if they can master big moments without relying on dragons burning people down, this show can do everything that Game of Thrones did early for us and be a good companion alongside A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Like, I feel like now I feel more than ever that this isn't just something I need to get through to get me to season 2 of Dunk and Egg. This is now me just eating really well. Like, I'm just going to get a really good meal now. Next season, next year, I'm going to get a really good meal of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms because both of these shows have mastered big moments.
And it feels like the shows and the showrunners should be pretty aware of this because, like, we've seen this in the past. Like, do you remember with The Office when that was going on? And you always see this with every like sitcom or whatever. It's the will they, won't they relationship. Let's keep it ambiguous for now because that's what's keeping everyone watching. And the whole thing was, when will Rhaenyra take the throne? She does. So I think that's why you start to ask is like, how do you follow this up? Are there more twists, right? Is there the Aemon getting stabbed twist, or like even just us like seeing Otto Hightower come out? Like, are there more twists they can use, or is it like Jag said, mastering the big moments, Koff?
It's both. I mean, you can have big moments with twists along the way, and if they stick to the source material, that's going to happen.
Jamie's
What I'm interested in is now that Rhaenyra has the throne, can she hold it? And B, will Allison try to flip the script now? Because we still have the Hightower host just camping out with Tessarion and with Daeron. We have Kristen Cole marching with his host towards Harrenhal to go reinforce Aemond. So yes, the Blacks are on a win streak right now, but will that win streak, quote unquote, if you want to call it that, will that be sustained? Or will the Greens get their chance to bring things back in their favor?
I love that we talk about Game of Thrones like sports now. It's so good, man. It's so good.
It really does remind me of a wrestling match, like a WWE wrestling match, where it's like, oh no, they're on the ropes.
What was the name of our character that had the little scent jar?
That's Ormond. Ormond Hightower. That's Otto's nephew.
Yes. Okay. I almost called him Orwell, but Ormond. I am so intrigued to see him. That character, for the brief moment he was on screen, really felt like he was injecting new life into this show. And I'm wondering, Koff, obviously you know because you've read the books, but I'm wondering if getting a lot more of him on screen and something outside of what we're used to is what starts to bring in some more juice and keeping everything kind of sailing this high as the season goes on.
I hope they utilize him a lot because he's a fantastic. I don't know if any of you guys have seen House of Guinness on Netflix, but he's in that a lot and he's fantastic.
I want to watch that. Like, it looks good. So
I like it.
Noted.
There you go. Little free recommendation for everybody watching and listening. Nice. Koff, you okay with the book changes?
For the most part.
Don't change the books. Showrunners. Koff gets mad.
Depends.
So I want to contextualize, right? So the way Fire and Blood is written is it's written almost like a historical account from later on. So it's utilizing first and second hand and even third hand accounts from the past to try to reconstruct what happened,
which allows it to be a little fuzzy on details.
Yeah,
right, exactly. So that's where things you can justify. Oh, they changed it because this is the real story. But then you do things like change characters' ages by a decade. And that's where things get a little messy. You eliminate entire characters. Like they're supposed to, the sheep stealer was supposed to get tamed by a dragon seed named Nettles, who gained his trust by feeding him a sheep every day for like weeks until he finally allowed her approach. Whereas Rhaena just kind of walked up on her and was like, hey, I know you're eating, but let me ride you. So it's those minor details.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that. Sorry.
It's those little moments and those little changes that cascade and turn into a snowball. By the end of it, it's like, oh, this is way different. So some of the changes I agree with, a lot of changes I don't. Let's put it that way.
Koff doesn't
grumble.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to be a neckbeard, but I'm being a neckbeard. God damn it.
Neckbeard grumble.
I'm trying, guys. I really am.
We need that as a meme, just grumbles and neckbeard.
Well, actually, according to the source material.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, guys. I think we hit everything here from House of the Dragon. Season 3, Episode 2. Like I mentioned, we're going to be back again tomorrow for Supergirl, our review on that. We got X-Men 97 this week. We got Silo. So many great reasons for you to be here watching and listening to Unbinged. Don't forget those 5-star reviews. As always, I want to thank everybody for watching or listening all the way through. For myself, for Kopfhamer, Jagger. I'll see you next time. Adios.